All right, everyone. We're live. Welcome to the Build Assets Online Nation. We are live streaming and we're going to be talking about Kindle publishing income in 2020. Is it worth it? Should you do it? It's all about Kindle publishing today, folks, because we talk about Kindle publishing on this channel a lot, but in reality, we've only been able to teach people dropshipping up until this point.
We've taught some SEO,
Right, yeah.
for free. We put out a lot of free content on SEO, and we made a lot of waves in the SEO world with some of the things that we were talking about. And I think we were really first people to conjoin SEO, like ranking, specifically for dropshipping sites as a form of monetization. And we're seeing a lot of people now who are having their Amazon affiliate businesses really go down the drain. And so
That's true.
I think people are really opening up to what we've been talking about in terms of diversification and just really not letting Amazon especially, but any one platform control your income and your life.
That's true. I think we were one of the first ones to come on the scene with talking about the application of properly done SEO and why you shouldn't rely on Amazon affiliate. But today is all about Kindle publishing, Mike. That was the point I was trying to make. And let's wait till we get some more viewers in. We have 4 concurrent viewers. Did you send the email yet?
Just setting up the live stream so I could see the chat. I don't know if you have that up.
I do have the chat up. If you're in the chat, say what's up so I know you're there. If you're in the chat, say Ayo.
Bow.
And also let us know if you're hearing us well, because that's obviously one of the concerns with live streaming is that maybe you can't hear Mike or you can't hear me. So just let us know if you're hearing us. I think Mike is sending the email now to alert the world.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
So we'll just.
It looks
we'll
like
just breathe.
Yeah, we'll just.
I have blue light glasses here. Should I throw those on? Oh wait, no, I don't know where they are. Never mind. Just in case.
So we have Brian saying howdy, Mark Strickland. What's up, TJ Wasai? All right, so some people are coming in. That's good. There's always a bit of a delay, and Mike's camera is lagging right now, so that's no good. There's always a bit of a delay between like what the viewers see and what we're saying. So
yeah, solid like 15 seconds. So
yeah,
we'll probably just ramble on about some stuff. To really get in depth about the course and really the pros and cons of Kindle.
Yeah,
we should definitely talk about the possible pitfalls.
Yeah,
because we've been getting some questions about that.
Yeah,
and we'll answer some questions.
Okay, yeah, you might want to speak up a little bit, Mike. Mick Strickland is saying you're not so clear.
How about now?
Cool, yeah, I have your volume on max, so.
Okay. Let me move this up.
Cool. So how many concurrent viewers are we at? 7. All right. So I guess we'll get started in probably like 5 minutes. We'll like actually start talking about Kindle and all that. But
if anyone has any questions now, we'll just kind of talk about whatever. The email just hit, so we'll give like 5 minutes for people to actually get in that and click in.
Yeah. So what we want to do is during the talk, you can start listing your questions in the chat, and at the end of the talk, or during it, depending on the relevance, we'll kind of go through all the questions, but we'll get to all of them eventually. Just be sure to leave them in the chat.
Brian says major change. Joe on the left this time. We're going to throw people off.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my first time using that OBS streaming software, like what the gaming people use.
Mhm.
And so I don't know. Maybe I set it up wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know who is older or younger, which kind of surprises me. I thought I look younger than I guess I actually do, but Joe is going to be 32 in tomorrow. So
That's true. Yeah, it sneaks up on you, doesn't it, Mike?
yeah, I feel like I'm already going downhill.
You wake
So
up one day and all your hair's gone.
yeah, yeah, that wouldn't be good for the. I guess it could be good for our image if we're just two bald guys. But
I think it definitely could be.
should we do that?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. I did an interview with someone earlier, one of our students, which I'm going to post later to YouTube. And yeah, he basically is kind of funny because he kind of looked like you, but like with more hair. But like in the beginning of the interview, I was just laughing because it looked like you, but it wasn't you. I cut that part out, but still.
Or maybe I'll get some hair plugs.
They look pretty good nowadays. They really do.
Yeah, like the stuff Elon Musk has. Like he
He does
has
have, yeah, he does, doesn't
whatever
he?
whatever he has is good. If you see like the old pictures of him when he like sold PayPal,
Yeah,
he's like this. He's like yeah at the end of his good hair days, but then he bounced back.
yeah. I know exactly what you're
His hair is
talking to.
immaculate now.
I know exactly what you're talking
All
about.
right, so I think oh, Cloud Music just turned 22 2 days ago.
What a great
Happy
age to
birthday,
get
Cloud.
started Kindle Publishing.
I mean, that's how old I was.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yep, exactly 22.
Wow.
I think so we can kind of segue this into beginning the talk. Yeah, it was actually in August of 2015 that I made my very first Kindle book, and it was actually a Sudoku book. And so I literally just spent a weekend on some Sudoku software. I just made like 100 of them, and I put it on Amazon, and it was essentially illegal at the time. Or actually, no, it wasn't illegal, but having it as a Kindle book was essentially useless because you can't do a Sudoku book on Kindle. But I also made it into a paperback. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember. I'm sure you remember this too, Joe. Like I just put it up, and I was like, whatever, no one's gonna buy this. And then a couple of days later, I was with you, and you were like, yeah, check it out. Like, see if anyone bought it. And it had like 4 sales. I made like $10, and
And you were hooked.
and yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I remember
That
what
was
happened.
it. But then after that, yeah,
Well, I remember what happened was I was doing so back in the day before me and Mike started to actually work together. I don't know, for some reason. Well, it was for multiple reasons, but like I didn't want him doing the same thing as me, and part of it was driven by the fact that like I was afraid of Amazon like banning my FBA account, and I was doing FBA at the time. But I don't know. There was a bit more of a scarcity mindset back then, like in general. But the whole reason was, and so I had put out a bunch of coloring books, and they were doing pretty well as paperbacks on CreateSpace. But the whole reason you put it on Kindle, from what I remember, is because the Sudoku book was so big, and so there wasn't a lot of profit margin on CreateSpace because there were so many pages. So that's kind of what started the whole Kindle movement.
yeah, absolutely. And then started dabbling in like nonfiction stuff, and then eventually got around to doing fiction. And really, what we want to hammer home here, because people have asked, kind of, are we publishing nonfiction? Are we publishing fiction? We do fiction, and
Yeah.
there's a very, very specific reason for that, and it really has to do with a lot of the theories that we talk about in terms of just diversifying and building an audience. Because fiction, it's a lot harder to actually go and create people that care about what you're talking about. If you're gonna make like a nonfiction brand, what can you do that people can actually latch onto and continue to increase their lifetime customer value with you? And there's really maybe like cookbooks, maybe history books, but these things are few and far between. And to build an audience outside of just ranking for keywords on Amazon Kindle with nonfiction is extremely difficult. And there's people that do well in nonfiction, and kudos to them. But with fiction, it's such a huge marketplace, and people, they love to read, obviously. So they will really latch on to different authors, like how you watch different TV shows. You don't just watch one TV show and then be done with it for life. You're always moving on to new TV shows. One show comes back, you watch that, you binge it. Another one, it comes up. And so it's always a constant cycle of media consumption. And that's what is so great about Kindle fiction publishing, is that it is digital media consumption on literally like the largest platform in the world. So we teach you how to build an audience outside of Kindle so that you can, outside of Amazon, so that you can boost your Amazon rankings and then get more of what Amazon has, like all the readers that are already on there, and then they will come sort of into your network. And so it's really, it's a bit of a slow process depending on how much money you want to invest, but over time it is certainly a snowball, and like it just becomes so easy to make money over time.
Yeah. So I named this live stream because it was a keyword in the Google autocomplete. I named it Kindle Publishing Income in 2020. So why don't you talk about some of the numbers that we've hit in terms of royalties so far in 2020? Right now it's...
Oh man, let me load it up. So
right now it's 422. April 22nd.
Right,
April 22nd. So let's see what the numbers are looking like this year in Kindle.
Yeah. And again, this is really a snowball process. And so I'm waiting for my book report to load and tell me what it is. But it's not like you can do this overnight, but this is just a matter of consistent publishing. Like we literally only put out a book a month. I know people that put out 2 books a month, put out like 4 books a month even. And so really you can speed up this process a lot. But this year we earned $63,000. $63,500 actually, exactly.
So is that from in deposits, or that's in like what's all the royalties for this year? What is that?
That is the royalties from January 1st to today.
Okay, so yes.
Estimated.
Yeah.
So it could vary a little bit. Could be 60,000, could be 66,000.
Yeah.
It just depends on whatever Amazon decides to pay us.
Let's let people know why that is, because some people might be confused. Like, you're saying you earn this much. Why does your royalties vary?
Yeah. So the way that we teach you to do things inside the course is we want you to tap into what is the Kindle Unlimited network on. And so what Kindle Unlimited is Amazon readers, Kindle readers can buy a subscription called Kindle Unlimited. And it's like $10 a month or $15 a month. And they essentially have access to read every single book that is enrolled in Kindle Select. So when they read a book that's enrolled in Kindle Select, you, the author or the publisher, you get paid based on the amount of pages that were read by these Kindle Unlimited members. And so that's going to be where the basis of your earnings are. And it's really how you scale up, and it's how you really create massive bestsellers over time. Because really what you're doing is you're finding more and more Kindle Unlimited readers, and you're getting them all onto your list. And then that way, when you put out a book, you know how much you can make off one page read.
Yeah.
And so you put out a book, you email them about the book shoots up in ranking, other people see it, and so everyone starts buying it or downloading it, whatever you want to call it, since they're not actually paying money. But your read-throughs of that book go up, and then you have an entire back catalog of other books you've already published and launched, and you've made your money back on, and now they'll go back and they'll read these books too. So really what you're doing over time is you're creating this huge library of high-quality books. They have to be high quality. They have to have the themes on point, covers on point, descriptions on point, which teach you how to do. But really just your earnings per customer just start going up and up and up over time, that it just becomes such a over leveraged game. Because now if I get a subscriber and they go through my catalog, I don't, how much can we feasibly make off them? Probably $100.
Yeah.
That might be a stretch, but I'd definitely say 50.
Yeah, I mean,
So
whether it's the funny thing is whether it's 50 or $100 or anywhere in between, the best part is they don't even have to pay like any money to
yeah,
give us
exactly.
money
It's
because
not like you need to constantly keep milking them for their money. They're just
yeah,
already going and doing this.
yeah,
So
you're literally
you're just
giving
kind
them
of
free content and getting paid for it.
yeah, you're giving them free content. You don't need to restock inventory. You don't need to do anything. Once you put it out, it's there. And yeah, you can just keep stacking this free content and get paid for it. And it's really here to stay because Amazon wants to be the number one place for books because people go on Amazon, they look at books, and they also shop on just a regular marketplace. Like Amazon wants to be the behemoth of the world. And so what's going on with the Amazon affiliate stuff right now, like it's so clear at this point that Amazon does not need more affiliate marketers just doing reviews for their products because people are already going directly to Amazon to look for stuff. People still search on Google, sure. Like they don't need that form of traffic anymore. They will always need Kindle. They will always need to be respectful of the publishers.
Yeah,
And if anything, actually, their sort of relationship with the publishers has probably gotten better over time.
yeah, yeah, it's a totally different situation than FBA and Amazon affiliate. And another reason, so think about why it's important to Amazon to actually maintain a Kindle business. Because from what I understand, like the Kindle marketplace itself is actually like a loss leader for Amazon. And before you say like, oh, a loss leader, like that's bad, Amazon doesn't make any money off of it. But that's not their plan. Like they don't care as much about the numbers for Kindle working themselves. They want people just going on their Kindle devices so that they shop and use their other services. And they have to maintain their number one like ebook status in order for that to keep happening. And if they, so they have a really, really good incentive to make it a friendly place for authors. And like you said, it has gotten better over time. When we first started, it wasn't as good as it is now in terms of like the customer support, the dashboard, all that kind of stuff. But I think as more time goes on, and especially since we've done many, many different business models, there was a time when a few years ago, when we had like a mind, what is it, like a brainstorming session. I was going to say a mind melding. I don't know if that works. We had a mind melding session, and we were talking about like what we're going to do going forward with our business, because it was when we first started Amazon affiliate. We were a bit shy about going full force back into Kindle. But so we decided to kind of do both. We decided to say like, all right, we're going to work on both of these things. And both have come a long way. But we've seen in terms of how Amazon views the affiliate program get cut multiple times over those years. That was maybe like 2017, 2018. But Kindle Publishing, they're just improving. So I got to say, I'm bullish on Kindle Publishing as the best form of an Amazon business in 2020 by far.
Yeah. Oh, best Amazon business, 100%. And if you think about all the time that you put into the SEO game and creating the content sites, and for what it's worth, it's a very, very diverse income method, and like the fact that we did that is extremely important. But you essentially went off and did that. You devoted like most of your working life to that at that point. I was literally just doing Kindle on the side. I just kept publishing, just put out another book, just put out another book, just put out another book. And it just kept growing and growing. And it's really, it is at the point now where it's like, should we double down on this? And that's kind of, in the course, we kind of give you this path, right? So we show you how we do it, and we keep it super simple to how we use it. Use Kindle just as a super passive asset that continually earns us royalties. And it earns us good money, and it pays the bills entirely. So, you can use Kindle as that, but we also know people that just do Kindle and they absolutely crush it. Like they earn so much more than us.
Yeah.
That I don't even want to talk about it because people really probably wouldn't believe it.
Should we double
But
down
it's
on it?
really
That's the real question. Should we double down on it? There's a lot more we could definitely do. I mean, we're so lazy with this business. Like, this is an example of how lazy we are with this business. We're talking about back catalogs and how people go read your back catalog. Um, we don't even have in our autoresponder until recently. I don't even know if it's live yet.
I didn't
But
even put it live yet.
we didn't even put it live yet. But it took us up until this long to make a sequence for people who join our list to go read our back catalog.
2 years.
2 years. We should have had that in place since the beginning. But we're so lazy with
Yeah.
Kindle that it's kind of a shame. It's kind of a sin, actually.
Yeah. And I think it's just because of how Kindle used to be back in the day. Like, you make one false move and that's it, you're gone. That, it wasn't worth it for us to even try it because it's like we didn't want to get our heart broken again. But just we have been in Kindle publishing for so long, probably longer than most successful independent publishers, that we've really seen it gone through. We really have observed it go through like all this growth, and it's really a much more stable platform. On top of the fact that there's now paperback, which it used to be CreateSpace. It's now a part of Kindle. So within the Kindle platform, you can just take the book you put out, make it a hard copy, and really Audible, which is under acx.com for like if you're going to publish an audiobook, that's really also emerging as like the new wild west, what Kindle was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and so on top of like what we were talking about with the back catalog and just how your customer value can accumulate from just your back catalog, you can take the same piece of content that you already put out and you should have already made your money on, or just do it instantly, make it into a paperback, make it into an audiobook, and you now have 3 essentially separate things that can earn you money from different places. And so like for the amount of cost to get a good quality fiction book written, there's so much opportunity to make that money back. And once it makes its money back, it's just pure profit forever. And so it's like, it's insane.
You were talking for a second, Mike, so we're kind of touching on the cons of Kindle publishing, and really there is only one con, is that you're in Amazon's playground. And if nobody knows what we're talking about, Amazon in the past, they've taken like drastic measures against like a drastic numbers of publishers, essentially because, they had policies dealing with their page reads and how you bookmark your book or how you do your table of contents and stuff like that. And a lot of people were exploiting it. We weren't. I mean, we were just setting up our books like with the table of contents like outside of. It wasn't within the Amazon guidelines, but we weren't doing like the black hat stuff that other people were doing in terms of like people were doing crazy stuff. And so Amazon, they would like click to the back of the book and do like a prize giveaway. And like, we wouldn't really do any of that stuff. We didn't set it up like according to Amazon's guidelines. And so at that time, Amazon like really, really dropped the hammer on like, I don't know how many publishers, but like a lot of publishers like that essentially did nothing wrong. Like Amazon just suspended their accounts. This was like in 2015. So that's what we're saying is like, that's when Mike says, oh, Kindle publishing broke our heart. That's what happened to us back then. And that's what kind of made us a little hesitant to go forward in the future. But like Mike was saying, it's much, much better now. And
yeah, I mean, that was literally 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was, it was. But
and we go, also in the course we go into like the real don'ts of publishing on Amazon. Like, don't have 2 accounts. Don't have someone else in your family do Kindle. If you're that's really like the big issues. Yeah. Well, just follow the rules.
In the grand scheme of things,
and that's really.
It's honestly like really not that bad if you think about what other people have gone through with like FBA and stuff like that. I mean, I sent in a pallet once to FBA and they like mislabeled like the whole thing. Like, and I like people get their accounts banned for like stuff that Amazon FBA does. Like FBA will make a mistake and like you can get in trouble, and it's happened to me before. So like, again, in the grand scheme of Amazon businesses, I still think Kindle publishing is by far and
Oh
away.
yeah, it's still far and ahead. It's yeah, because you don't have any inventory there for Amazon to. You don't have to deal with Amazon on that front if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
And worst comes to worst, if something happens to your account, you still own that book.
Yeah.
Amazon does not own. You have to find somewhere else to set like move your inventory, whatever. You just take your books. You have your list too, which is the basis of how you're making money. And you can still the list building is done outside of Amazon, so you can still build your list and you can still make books. It's just a matter of putting them in other places. And there are people that do that exclusively. Like it's called going wide. So they'll put their stuff on what is it, iBooks, Barnes and Noble. I don't know. There's a lot of places to put it.
Yeah.
Where people like Amazon's competitors, where people go and read. And so you can market your books there. You can market your books on your website, and you know, Amazon kicked you out, but you still have everything you ever did. So it's not like, if you're an FBA and you're selling Slinkies, and all of a sudden, you're making all this money off FBA, and something happens, like you don't fulfill a tracking right or whatever, and Amazon boots you. Now you have like so much inventory because you've been scaling up and scaling up and scaling up, and you're buying hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory every month, and now you're screwed.
Yeah.
And so there's really no way to recover from that. Like we're talking about worst case scenario, like catastrophic Kindle issues.
Yeah.
If you get suspended or terminated, you still have everything. So
yeah. And yeah, that's what we like to see in a business.
And you get to tap into Amazon. That's like essentially the whole thing here is like everyone wants a piece of what Amazon has, right? So you either do it through FBA, which we talked about, you do it through Amazon Associates, which they're going to cut you off completely soon, or you do it this way. And so this is really the most viable way to actually get a piece of the Amazon pie.
Yeah, and it is a big pie indeed. A big pie indeed. So let's talk a little bit about like the logistics of what we do to make the income that we make on Kindle. And really that's the thing I love about this business model is just that is how simple it is. So because you're leveraging Amazon's traffic, all you have to do is upload a good book, like Mike said, high quality, good cover, good description. It's all got to be good. We show you how to do it. But then all you have to do is get that book to rank high in the Amazon Kindle marketplace. So that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't need to build you don't need to, we show you how to build an author website in the course, but you don't even have to do that. You don't have to build a website, like customer service. There's like nothing crazy that you have to do. There's nothing demanding that you have to do. All you have to worry about is just getting people to buy a book. And if you're writing a book that people are going to want to read, like people, it's you just send them to the book. That's it. They don't have to pay for it. Like the level of marketing that you have to do to be successful in Kindle publishing, like is so low.
It's such beginner level, and that's really why we felt compelled to put this out, because it's like we do so many things that are kind of advanced.
Yeah.
And this was really our beginning entry point into like having the money and having the confidence to do these things, because I can understand it's hard. Like we've talked about this before, Joe. When you started doing SEO, we were like, if this is the first thing you ever tried to do, just trying to make money online, like you'd be so screwed.
Yeah.
Because just to build it up and to figure it out, there's so much feedback, like time you have to wait to actually make money. Kindle, like you put something out on Kindle, you will make your first dollar that day or within 24 hours. Yeah. Just because you're tapping into Kindle, there's no inventory. And it's just really writing books, having someone write them, having someone edit them, getting a cover done, writing a good description, and just throwing it up there and just doing some basic email marketing.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like you're just really just trying, and then people on Amazon that are already on Amazon are going to see it. And that's really the whole thing. But the point is that in terms of like marketing and figuring out how to actually get people to buy your product, it's also so beginner level because you can see exactly what people are buying already.
Yeah.
You just go, you can just go to the Kindle Top 100, see what people are buying, like in terms of fiction, in terms of like, not, it's not like J.K. Rowling or Michelle Obama or something,
Yeah.
and you see what trends there are. Okay, this is what people are buying, and you make a book like that.
Yeah. Just compare it like to what we're doing now, like build assets online. It's obviously like an info product business where we like the way buildassetsonline.com makes money is like we sell people courses and we have our membership. Like if you've never done any online business, like that in itself is so hard. It's so much harder than Kindle publishing. Like
Mhm.
it's like a 0 and like a 10 because there's so many subtleties, so many like things you have to do to like keyword research, go on camera, talk to people, create classes and Teachable, like create a website. Like it's get
Mhm.
it's just so much harder than Kindle publishing. And I
Yeah,
think
there's so many variables.
yeah,
Even like with like the whole funnel thing, how people try and make money just through having some sort of funnel, and then they have coaching, and you know if that's your passion and you want to pursue that, like it's a good marketing tool, I guess. But again, it's like it's so many variables to piece together and to learn to master. Kindle, you literally just build the list with the resources we give you, and you see what's already working on Amazon, you emulate it, and then you just send these already readers that are already into this stuff your book.
yeah. And the best part is it's
And
good practice too. Like it's good practice for when you want to do the more advanced stuff, and you're gonna get that. Oh my God, this is working. This is working. Okay, I know I can do this. Like I know this works.
Mhm,
So what else can I do? And I think
mhm,
that is really, really, really important for people who are just starting out online. They need to have that feedback of something's working.
mhm.
So
And I want to go back to the pitfalls because um, I feel like we do make it seem easy, and like trust us, from the scope of everything else that we do, it is by far the easiest. Really, the ways to fail and not make money on Kindle, let's say, like if you just keep at it, you're gonna make money, but it's a matter of like, are you gonna break even? Are you gonna make $1,000 a month? Are you gonna make $10,000 a month? $20,000 a month? It just comes down to really how much you study the market. And we talk about we run this business on like 4 hours a month, and we do. But that's because we really already like I've studied the market so much that I can look at what's going on and I can figure out a book in like 10 minutes. But back in the day, like I would come home from my job, I would look at like romance books at my job, like literally like in my cubicle, just looking at these ridiculous romance books, like figuring out, just studying everything. And I would go home and I would just be hiring writers, and I was really taking a lot of action. And so like I don't want to divert people away from like thinking they don't have to take action here. You do have to take a lot of action, but once you just figure each piece out, it just runs itself. And
yeah,
so, even the first time like hiring a writer, it may take you a few hours to go on Upwork, figure it out, um, find a good writer. But then once you do that, it's not going to take many hours after that.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's the truth, Mike.
so
That's you laid it all out there. But
yeah,
guys, we really need some questions in the chat. This is supposed to be an FAQ. It's our first live stream, so we're not expecting much, but hit us with some questions in the chat and we will answer them. So let's wait a good 30 seconds and see what questions people have.
yeah. Anything else you wanted to add?
Um, Not so much. Not so much. Well, what was I going to say? I guess we could start for those who are watching who aren't already enrolled in Passive Publishing Profits. Buildassetsonline.com/Kindle, code publish50. When is that expiring, Mike? We're giving half off of the course because we just launched it, but it's expiring
Tomorrow night.
very, very soon. Yeah. So tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night.
right now, I think the course is like 500, 497. You're saving half, but tomorrow night
Mhm.
that's gone.
Yeah.
Daniel Apke asks, what's the most challenging part of starting a Kindle business? Um,
Yeah, it's just like I was saying, it's just getting all the moving pieces off the ground. And that's really the hardest part of any business is like, a business running at steady state can take you 20 hours a week to run. Kindle is much less than that, but it still requires the initial setting the foundation phase. So I would say the hardest part is probably finding a writer. And that's just because it takes the most like elbow grease of actually just searching. And I believe that you should take more time in that process to really just invite as many writers to like your Upwork job as possible and just sift through the best ones because you don't want to wind up with a bad writer who's going to flake out on you for one, produce content that people aren't going to like. And like, from there, like everything just kind of cracks. And you could say the same thing about like a cover designer. I think those are a lot easier to come across. So yeah, I would say finding a good writer.
yeah. Mick Strickland asks, could you go over some more details about the lead magnet book?
Yeah. So you want to talk about it or me?
I mean, I don't think there's really much to say, honestly. It's just, I think he's in the course.
Yeah, it's just the same as the other books you're putting out, but and so like you pick your niche, right? And then that would essentially decide what your lead magnet is going to look like. Because the lead magnet is going to be the first book you're publishing in that niche to attract people who read that genre. So we do it a particular way in the course, which I won't reveal because it's simple, but it has made us a lot of money, and I don't want to like talk about what people have paid for. But yeah, that's really all you're doing. It's just your first book in a particular genre to get people who read that genre onto your list, and now you just have a bigger audience base of people that will read that book, and more books to come in that genre.
Yeah.
So you can have one lead magnet. One lead magnet per genre is necessary.
Yeah. So Daniel says, I'm stuck on finding a writer right now. I mean, you just got the course like a day or two ago. Good to hear. That's one of the hardest parts. Yeah, another one of our students in our membership. Yeah, she was like, "Oh my God, I'm having trouble finding a writer." And I was like, "When did you post your job?" And she said, "This morning." So I was like, yeah, like Mike said, it's you can't make that part go faster. Like hiring anyone, it's just a matter of people apply, and then it just takes time for them to apply. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, they may not be logging on Upwork and
yeah,
just skimming through jobs. Like they may not even see it.
Yeah, applications drip in like over the course of weeks, usually on Upwork.
Yeah, I would spend like a week, legit, just like searching through Upwork.
Yeah,
searching through freelancers and inviting everyone that seems relevant.
Yeah,
and to do it
when we hire anyone. I mean, so Mike and I, we've hired a lot of people, either to work with us as virtual assistants, customer service, all that kind of stuff. Writers, obviously, Kindle Publishing, and we never find a good candidate. Like it's usually never instant. Sometimes it is, but it usually takes a few days or sometimes even a week of like sifting and interviewing. And
who are the ones that are on Upwork skimming? They're the ones that don't have jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
The people that are good are they have stuff to do. So they're out there, but it's not like, they're desperate for work.
Yeah. So Daniel asks, how long is the process typically? And we just answered that. So he acknowledged that we answered. So that's fantastic. This live stream stuff is kind of, it's interesting. It's interesting. I usually don't expect, I'm not looking for feedback from the outside when we record. Like we're just recording. So yeah, we'll just wait a little bit for some more questions to drip in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Daniel, like, of course, like I said, spend a week just going on Upwork and just searching for people. And if you want to go like an extra level, just try even going outside work, like post on Craigslist or something.
Yeah.
And see what you
Craigslist.
can find there. Like if you have nothing to do. I mean, I know you have stuff to do because I talk to you. But yeah, be patient. Like that's also a big thing in Kindle is you have to be patient because you have to be patient to get paid because it's going to take 60 days. Writers take a while to get books done. It's a slow process of building and building, your back catalog and your list, but just over time, it really adds up. So
Yeah. If you go to buildassetsonline.com/Kindle and watch the video at the top, when I talk about the business model, I use the picture of a tree. I use like a tree and it's like growing its leaves slowly, slowly, slowly. And Mike said, yeah, you have to be patient. By the way, Mike, there is some echo going on, so I don't know if your speakers are loud or whatnot. So see if we can get that fixed. Daniel asks again.
Lord, it should be better.
Yeah, it should be better. Daniel asks,
do you ever go out of the budget of what you recommend in the class? So, what do we say, like $300 to $800 a month? I really don't, unless say I get 2 books done in 1 month. In that case, it's still like the same budget per book. Like when I talk about $300 to $800 a month, that's on like a consistent per book with monthly expenses type thing. But if I really wanted to go hard, and I would get 3 books done in a month, or I would get 2 books or whatever. So no, in the sense that I'm not paying more for like a more expensive book or more expensive cover or anything like that. And yeah, but you can certainly do it if you want. We try to do just basic guidelines.
I think he was referring more to like the word, like the cost per word, like overall. Do you ever go out of the budget that we recommend?
No,
Yeah.
We've used the same rate for a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah, it has been a couple of years. I think it comes back to the people that have just started. These people literally just got our course. They just posted their rate on Upwork. And like I just said, like hiring a good quality person is not overnight. Because like Mike said, these people have jobs. Like when he said like they have gigs, like they're probably working on something else right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll
it just takes time to find the right person. Like because the people that are going to respond to you immediately are going to be the ones that don't have jobs, or the ones that are like really expensive, so they don't do a lot of work, but they do.
Yeah.
The work that they do is like super high earning for them.
Yeah.
So those are the least busy people.
Well, Dan,
on either side of the spectrum.
Dan, you can answer in the chat. When we did the interview today, you actually have a little bit of a team going on for your. I'm not saying a little team. You have a team going on for your dropshipping operation that you hired from onlinejobs.ph. So how long did that take? Was that instant? I'd be surprised if it was. If it was, more power to you.
Mr. Flat Life said, do you guys generally use Upwork for everyone involved in the project? No. We use Fiverr for cover designers. I mean, it's really all you need. Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. Yeah, so we use Fiverr for covers. List building is outside of Upwork completely. VAs you can get anywhere. So Upwork is just used for writers and editors.
Yeah. Joel D asks, is dropshipping finally dead? Far from it.
Dropshipping, we thought it was dead, and then it rose from the grave this month. I've never seen dropshipping more alive.
It is kind of crazy. I was thinking about that.
Like we did that podcast a couple weeks ago about like things may slow down, and we've really seen some just like insane growth. Like the market is absolutely going nuts because people can't go and shop in person, and so people are 100% still buying stuff. If you're in our Elite Fleet membership, like that's where we post our screenshots. We have one of our students who's actually just about to hit 100K this month for the first time. Our other store is going bananas. Might do like 500,000, and our other stores are just kind of trucking along as normal. So no, it's not dead, unfortunately.
Yeah. So Daniel said, unfortunately, Daniel said, no, it took a few weeks to hire his VAs for his team. So yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. Hiring quality people takes time. Some guy, Satano Gaming, chicks are clicker. I don't know what that means.
Clicks are cheaper?
Huh. I don't know. Can you decode that? Is that
maybe in response to the dropshipping thing?
Oh, maybe he said clicks are cheaper. Yeah, maybe. I thought it might have been some like millennial language that he was speaking.
Yeah, I can read that stuff. You can't, Joe.
I know. I don't speak millennial that well. I'm learning though.
Yeah. Well, certainly on Facebook. Click. Now I in my head I want to say chicks are clicker, but yeah, it's cheaper on Facebook. Google, no, it's kind of the same. There's definitely just more traffic to be gotten. So, yeah, the cost per click hasn't varied that much from what I've seen. We can do like a separate podcast that's kind of we can analyze like what's actually happened in our ad accounts in terms of CPCs and spend and stuff like that. That would probably be good. But yeah, I haven't noticed if anything, we're spending way more. And I think that's because of just a lot of people have like dropped out because they're scared.
Not spending more per click, spending more in general.
Yeah. Yeah, we're spending the same per click, but like we're just taking up such a bigger piece of the pie now.
Yeah. One thing I mentioned in another episode of ours is like, the economy, for many people, it sucks right now. And for some, well, there's going to be like stimulus checks going out like to mostly everyone, from what I understand. But it's very important that most people think of this in a certain way. They think, oh, yay, I'm getting a stimulus check. Like it's a free $1,000 or whatever it is. But the way I think of it now is, how are we positioned are we going to collect what people spend their stimulus checks on? That's how I think about it.
That's true. And, probably a lot of people will have to spend it on basic necessities, but
not everyone.
There's also a whole other spectrum of people that, they're still going to have money during this. Like the people that aren't getting stimulus checks, people that are still rich are not going to go broke because of this. Most of them.
Yeah.
And so that's why we do dropshipping the way that we do. And I don't want to divert this talk into dropshipping, but a lot of the products that we sell are to, the upper class. And like the middle class, they're going to suffer the most from this. The lower class is already going to, I don't know what you call it. They're already suffering. And so there's really only one place that's like a steady place to market, and that is to the affluent. Shout out to Dan Kennedy, marketing to the affluent.
Daniel asks,
so do you have any place for the Kindle business? Yeah, we have one VA that does our swaps, and well, obviously aside from the writers, we have one employee that does like our swaps. We have one employee that writes our emails for us, because I do emails in a particular way, and you don't have to do that to be successful. But yeah, so just those two employees. I've really toyed around with the idea of just hiring someone full time to literally be like the Kindle manager and just like double or triple of the operation, because really the problem is that I'm so busy already, and I'm still kind of responsible for like managing the pieces, even though it's such little work to keep it where it is. It would be more work for me to go and double it or go and triple it. And so I could hire someone, or even you can do this once you're off the ground. You can hire someone to manage the writers, to kind of not come up with book concepts, because you shouldn't outsource that, but to execute on them and make sure that everything is going well. So
Do you know what we should
Yeah.
do? Do you know what would be interesting? Um, we should do this maybe for Kindle, but also for some other businesses as well. And I feel like we only do this when we start a new business. We say, all right, we're diverting our sole focus to this, or like a lot of our focus to this to get it off the ground. But
Mhm.
I feel like we never, or we don't off, we go back and we make little tweaks here and there and we build, and that works. That's effective because once you're up and running, little tweaks can make a big difference. But I wonder what the outcome would be if we said like, all right, this June, this July, this May, we're dedicating everything to Kindle, both of us,
Mhm.
and we're gonna set a budget of like, I don't know, $10,000 a month, and we're gonna go hard on it. Like, what do you think the outcome would be?
I'm sure it would be something worthwhile, but I doubt we're gonna do it.
We could do it though. It's
I mean, yeah, I mean, anything that you put more energy into is gonna grow, and so the equation is you want it to grow at a rate that's more than what you're spending on it. But yeah, I mean, if we put more mental energy and just time into doing Kindle, and we just like hired 4 writers and just started getting a bunch of content out there and hiring someone to um, manage it, yeah, like
yeah.
it could pay off a lot.
Took us 2 years to do the
But
autoresponder, and we didn't even do it yet. To do the
yeah,
autoresponder follow ups.
I know. I know. I was about to do it, but the writer messed up, so I had to. That threw me off, and I've had resistance ever since to finish it. But I have it. I have it on my list this week. We will put in the autoresponder,
Good.
and if you're watching this and you already have the course, you should definitely have your autoresponder set up before me. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I mean, we struggle with this all the time. Is what to put mental energy into, and you can say the same thing. Like if we just spent another month just making 3 more dropshipping stores, what would be the outcome of that? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it happens at any level.
I
But the
think,
reality is you only have so many hours in a day and so many places to divert your focus, and we still struggle with that. So
yeah. Well, I think for Kindle Publishing, so for dropshipping, what would happen is if we said we were going to put in all of our, so you just talked about our stores, we're definitely going to do like over 500,000 like in total sales this month across all our stores. So if we were to just triple and quadruple down on dropshipping for a
we already
month,
have that.
oh, okay, we already have that. But if we were to just like triple and quadruple down on dropshipping for a month, like we would have so much more that we'd be responsible for handling in the following month. Like it would be insane.
Mhm.
But if we did that for Kindle, like I wonder, would it pay dividends for how long would it wouldn't create more work the next month? And how
Yeah,
much
absolutely. Because I'd still have to um, publish them myself without someone there. Like we really need like a
a manager? Well, you said hire a manager.
yeah, okay. So
That's
yeah, if we
part of
hired
it.
the
That's
manager,
part of it.
oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what I've been toying around with, is like figuring out the best. I've been playing around in my head with like what the job would entail and um, where that person would need to be located. If we can have it be someone in the Philippines, or if it would have to be like a U.S. person. And so because they could also do things like Facebook Messenger, they could do more list building stuff. Someone that's like could literally be put 40 hours a week instead of 4 hours a month
Yeah.
into doing this.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where I was going with that. I wasn't saying that you would do it. I mean, aside from uploading the books, you'd have to do that.
yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, again, I think about it, and maybe we'll talk about it more. We have to see what our budget's looking like, because our accountant isn't too happy with us. So,
Yeah, we keep
um,
spending money on other things that we're going to talk about later. Real estate related things.
yeah. So Daniel says, I can't even tell you how many people have called me and said they're waiting on their checks to buy the product from my store. Talking about the stimulus checks. Yeah, I don't answer the phones anymore, but I can definitely believe it. Really turning around. People are. There was definitely a lull like a couple weeks ago, especially with one of our other stores. It's more B2B. And I think things are coming back on a bit of an upswing.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they're not lying to you. Um, Mick
Mike.
says,
Okay.
yeah.
What did Mick say? What did Mick say?
I might have missed it earlier, but how many Kindle books would you publish per month on average? We do one every month. There are other people that do 2, 3, 4. So it's whatever you have the time and energy to do. But we talk about this in the course. It is important to have a consistent schedule because that will because you're going to do your launches are going to be scheduled in advance, very far in advance. So not like willy-nilly, like you just get a book and you publish it. There's more that goes into it.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I wanted to talk about, and I think we can probably end this pretty soon, unless more people join, unless we get more questions, and then we'll keep going. But one thing I wanted to talk about was a lot of times, and believe me, we don't mind, but a lot of times we get emails of people asking us questions, like, and I can tell immediately that based on the questions that they're asking, that they're not setting themselves up for success, to put it lightly. So we've had a few people email us about the course, like, is it going to be worth it? Like, yada, yada, yada. Like, what if I already know this stuff? And I want to talk about the way that we look at investing in a course. So every time we buy a course, we kind of have, like, I would say somewhat of a course addiction. Is that when we see something, like, it's like the Ariana Grande song. It's like, I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. I got it. That's what happens. We see a course, and we'll link it. Well, I'll link it to Mike, or Mike will link it to me, and that's essentially the discussion. It's like, I see it.
And it's like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, but the way
Do we really have to buy this? And yeah, keep going.
no, but the way we look at it, and is okay. If this course makes us an extra $5 a month, or even like $5 a day, like, what's the minimum that this course is going to make me over the course of my life? Like, and is it going to be worth it? And I would honestly say that every course we've ever bought, and we've bought some bad ones too. Ours, I think, this Kindle course, I think, is top class, top of the front of the class quality. But we've bought some bad courses, and if you have the mindset that we have, they've all made us money in the long run. And that's the attitude that I see people lack, and that you have to have if you're going to be successful in online business. There's no way around it.
Because you have to think to yourself, am I actually going to follow through with this? And yeah, if you're not going to follow through with it, then don't buy it. But if you're going to follow through on a $250 course, to make back $250 over a year is so easy.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to understate, like, putting in hard work and all that. But again, if you already decided you're going to do something and you're already taking steps to do it, then it only makes sense that if you can just glean one thing that can have a semi-significant effect on what you're doing, you're going to make thousands of dollars off that chain. Yeah. And like you said, we bought in some courses that are so bad and that are so irrelevant to what we do now, but we've still made our money back on them because we've learned, say, one thing, and we go and apply that one thing. And I can assure you it's had some sort of significant effect, like, especially with dropshipping.
Yeah.
We've applied so many things to our stores that we've learned in just random places, like conversion techniques and little things like that. That, like, even if it got me one extra sale over 2 years and I make $1,000 off of that sale, then that course has paid for itself. That garbage course is already worth it. So, yeah, like, it's only going to be worth it if you make it worth it. And in the end, it's just a matter of you continuing to going and keep trying to grow your portfolio.
Yeah.
So,
and it's on you to make it worth it. That's the thing that needs to be understated. Like, a lot of people go to college, for example, and probably including myself, they don't make it worth it. Because I'm just
Yeah.
like, what's like the easiest class I could take? Like, you know, how am I gonna get through this semester so I can just like play Warcraft all day? Like that's my
Yeah, people will spend $100,000 for a communications degree that they're never going to use, but then they'll ask if your $250 course is worth it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just a matter of if you make it worth it to yourself.
yeah. And I can go on a whole diatribe of I don't like when I see those gurus out there like drop out of college. Like, I'm not trying to be like that at all. I mean, I think depending on your career path and also depending on your aptitudes, college could be a good thing if you're financially smart about it. But again, it's what you make it. And so with that, guys, buildassetsonline.com/Kindle. Go grab the course. There's no way it's not worth it. Like, how is it not worth it? Like,
Yeah, and that's why we priced it as we did with the discount, because there's just no way it's not worth it.
yeah,
If you were even considering doing Kindle, even in a year, even if you know you're not going to get to it in a year, the methods will still be the same. Even if you're doing drop shipping, like, you still learn about email marketing in the course. It's just it's stupid. I don't want to go into it, but yeah, Publish 50 is the discount code.
yeah. And even it's gonna
And
be
it's
gone
still
tomorrow.
online.
It's gonna be gone tomorrow
Oh
night.
yeah, well,
and we're gonna raise the price of the course. That's another fact of reality is that it's $500 now. Before the discount, it's not gonna be long before it's 1,000 and 2,000 because that's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
we did that with the dropshipping course too.
Yeah, we did do that with the
So-
dropshipping course. We have some strong testimonials
Wow.
coming in from the dropshipping course this week. Just did an interview today. Have another one lined up tomorrow. And the more of those successful students that we have, the more the price is going up. That's just what it comes down to. Because we know the value of our courses. That's the thing. I would feel comfortable charging $10,000 for the Kindle course, $15,000. I would even have the audacity to charge $20,000. But I just know that people aren't like they want to see more proof. So once the proof is in the pudding, then the cost is
the
going
price
up.
of the pudding is just going up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I paid $800 for a call with like a best-selling author, best-selling publisher, and it's like there's 10 times more value in what we put out than that call
Yeah.
that I spent $800 on, and it was worth it. It was still worth it. So you get the idea.
Yeah. buildassetsonline.com/Kindle. We're out, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And we're probably going to live stream our next podcast, so check out for that. I'm thinking about hopping on some live streams myself. Just kind of the regular videos I do on this YouTube channel, tutorials, stuff like that. So see you later.
Take it easy.